Hi, hello, hello, hello. How are you guys today? Whew, this has been some time and a time at the time. Hold on, trying to see if I can do something. Be able to see you guys.
Trying to see if I can do something.
Yeah. Anyway, let me see. Come on.
Trying to see if I can.
Mm-mm. I can't get my Facebook page up. Here we go. All right, so that way I can see if y'all come on in and make some comments. All right, today I was telling you all that I was coming back um, to talk about men and self-esteem. I am Miss Dawn, and I am here, and I had wanted to have some men on this live tonight. As I have reached out to them, um, just trying to let them ease in and tell them, I've been telling them for months what I had wanted. It seemed that it wasn't like, yes, 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 I want to do it. And I wonder why. Sometimes we wonder why, but we know that men have issues with self esteem too. And we know that they have their issues with self esteem, just like we have our issues with self esteem, but they are not willing to admit it. A lot of times they are not willing to admit it. They they send up they have a lot of times.
A lot of times they are not willing to admit it. They
I'm trying to
they
watch
send
the
out they
comments.
admit
So
a lot of times they are not willing to admit it. They
I'm gonna try to. I'm trying to.
they send out they admit a lot of times they are not willing to admit it.
So I know you know your. I know you know men that you have in your life that deal with self-esteem issues. So, and I have had some conversations with some of them, and I'm telling you, like when I had conversations with some of my male friends, and I had said, they say, during one guy I was talking to, and I was talking about a situation um, with a ex, and they were saying um, the guy said, why wouldn't they want to see you with somebody? That's their own self esteem issue, like, and you go, a lot of times I'll be like, what? Like, I don't know why we don't think about men having problems with self esteem, but they have their problems too. So I'm sitting here looking like, well, why would they have a problem? Why would they have an issue with the self esteem, their self? Because they act like they got it all together a lot of times, and I'm not knocking the ones that do communicate, but you don't hear them communicate when they having an issue about how they feel about themselves. I was reading something, and it was talking about how men feel um, that their body, when we talked about body images earlier this month, but in their body, and they don't have the right shape, they have some self-esteem issues with that. That's why sometimes, you can see somebody that's overdoing their workout because they trying to have their whole body fit. It's nothing wrong with being fit, but then they just constantly have to keep working out and have to have what they quote unquote six pack or whatever, because they are not satisfied within themselves, and they feel like, okay, well, what I gotta do all this to keep myself getting myself together. I can take these off, because I'm vain, right? I told y'all my self esteem vain, but I'm not reading anything to pretty much tonight. So I just want to, that's one thing that we know for a fact that men deal with is their body image as well. We as women, we don't really like we kind of accept them with different body images. With us, there a lot of times, and I know y'all can vouch for me with this, but I feel like a lot of times men choose a certain woman with certain body image because of their own low self-esteem. They have to feel like, oh, okay, look at this woman, look how she looks with me, look how I look with her on my arm. I don't care who disagree, but it's true that you having problems with your own esteem. So your woman has to reflect something that you to make you feel better about who you are. Um, so it's plenty of women available, but a lot of times it within that man and his esteem and how he feel about himself, he may decide no. And it could be on the flip side too. He could be a man that, you know, looks good and just feel low about himself inside. And here you are loving on him. And he has this shame, something deep down inside or whatever that has caused him to feel a certain way. And or something that has bothered him from a childhood. Maybe he was teased by his nose, his teeth, and then you just loving him for who he is, but he all damaged up and he has some damaged goods because he just don't think that he's good enough. So he might be running away, trying to you good for him, but he running away from you because he don't understand that he has a good woman, because he can't see himself with that woman. He don't see himself his valuable enough to be with someone that is what he think is more or not worthy of him, right? So we have a lot of issues. So some men decide that they feel guilty. They may have done things in the past and they feel guilty for what they have done, and they don't feel that they can measure up no more because of what they have done in the past. And so I'm encouraging that man that feel like you feel guilty for what you've done in the past, that you can love yourself and love the people around you. You don't have to feel guilty from what you have done years back or even what you just did just a few minutes ago. Get yourself together, stop doing what you were doing, and decide that you're going to do better. I had mentioned that when I was praying for the men's day. You can always turn around, you can always do better. I know that I was talking to a male, and when a man has felt rejected by, say, let's say the woman that he loved, or just even if he didn't even love a woman, just for him to that women among us, we have talked about that many a days where we felt like, well, I say this, but a man, a man loved this one woman, and he gave all himself to this one woman, and then she leaves him, or she works do something to hurt him real bad, or he's no good. He acts like he's no good for nobody else. He never, expressed himself in love like he did with the first one. Yeah, I was talking to somebody, another male, and you know, the women chose to be with somebody else, and they felt inadequate afterwards. They felt like they were not um, adequate enough to satisfy her. So they thinking that they not adequate enough to satisfy somebody else. And I have been in many, many conversations, especially when one of the areas that a man has problems with in his esteem is when he performance. And I'm not going to go into all of that, but if he feel that he lack a performance, he may try to substitute and go and start to act out in different ways. He may think that he gonna go try to be with somebody else because now he feel that he knows that he has issues and he not satisfying the woman he with, and then he thinking, I gotta get my standard back. I gotta be the man. And then he may decide that he's gonna go and try to do something with someone else because now he wants to feel strong and he wants to get his stamina back, and he want to know that somebody want him or whatever, instead of just going and really dealing with the issue, the actual physical issue. Um, and there's ways to deal with that. And yeah, I mean, the woman that really, women, we stick out a lot of things. We don't even discuss a lot of times if we having issues like that with our mate. But he knowing and feeling some kind of way. I'm trying to see what his hair sticking up. Okay, if he feeling some kind of way, he may decide that he got to try to get his macho back by doing something else. That's self-esteem issue. That's self-esteem issues at the core. Just sitting there like, what? Why can I? Take time, talk to your woman, have her express yourself. Go find somebody to counsel with. Go talk to, not talking to your bulls and stuff, because they not all the time gonna give you the right answer. But when you're going to a counselor, going to get physical things to help you, and talk with your mate if you have a mate about those things. Um, there is a, a lot of um, men that suffer from ED or and have prostate cancer and things like that. And your woman don't want to leave you just because of that. And you don't have to go drink yourself, and you don't have to go drug yourself or whatever, or whatever you're doing to cover up how you really feeling, to you know um, act out. That's what I'm saying, act out. So that is another area where these men, I'm telling you, they turn to other things because they, and then that man that gets mad, he's feeling inadequate, and then he's going to get mad at other people around him, his around the children. So, like for instance, another thing is position and title of men and their ego, and a lot of times if they're not in the position that they want to be in, or making the money that they want to make, or have the title or the position, then they feel less than of a man, and then they may think, okay, well, I'm coming to you, I'm coming to my woman, and here I can't, I mean, not woman, or anyway, the children and whoever, and they want to act out towards you or have rage towards you. And I'm going to, like I said, we talk about the men today. We talked we talked about 6 months. We wasn't just talking about women, but we talked about, most of the time, it was a woman panel, and we talked about our issues. So I definitely wanted to get in here and talk about some men and the men and self-esteem, because I think that if you like me, I wasn't even thinking that a lot of times that men have self-esteem issues. I I know it, but I didn't know it. I guess I was so busy focused on, myself, and focus as a woman, and and watching all the women with issues within themselves, and how they compensate with issues within themselves. Um, so that made me feel like, I guess it just wasn't looking at men, but men do the same thing. They do the same thing, especially they don't know how to tell or sit there and have a conversation with the woman that they want to be with, or even if they didn't think that she like them, they don't. Sometimes they esteem, don't think, oh, I'm good enough for her, and so you thinking, oh my goodness, he just don't like me, but he don't have enough confidence in himself to even know how to approach you. And having conversation with men like that, men, they've been damaged so bad, like they said, damaged goods, that every little thing that you say or you do, even if you're just trying to help them be better, or you trying to give them constructive criticism or something like that, then they offended, and they taking it like, oh, is she trying to talk to me any kind of way, or is she trying to put me down? And you trying to build them up. And I want you to continue to build up um, him, but just know that some of the ways that he may act is he may pull back, and he may pull back. He ain't coming home today. He ain't coming home tonight. He lost his job today, or he lost, he didn't get paid, or he don't have enough money. So he's hiding. He's hiding. Or he may flee. He may just leave you altogether, get out the situation, because He can't deal with himself. He can't deal with the failure of what has happened. So he gonna flee. He gonna run. He gonna you don't see him, then you see him because he get enough confidence to come back. Then he's gone again because confidence is gone. And then he comes back again, confidence back. So you like, okay, well, wait a minute, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? What's wrong? He may go trying to seek other experiences, and like the running off, being like I said before, being with somebody else, or running off with the boys and running off. Got to go on another vacation. You just trying and constantly doing something to try to help yourself, not the man trying to help himself, not deal with his failure or what he's seen as a failure. You know what I mean? So then you have him, like I said, act out, and we know all that. We know how we see these men with self-esteem, and they truly, truly act out, especially especially when you know for sure. I was, that they did it. You ever watch these, like some of these what I want to say, some of these little shows or whatever, and he knows that he's guilty, but he gonna deny it. He know that he did it, but he gonna deny. He gonna deny to the end, because now that's getting into a little bit of behavior things, but basically that ego, um, and he's not gonna let you see that he failed. He's not gonna allow you to see that he made a mistake. They always talk about when you're driving in the car, you're driving the car with the man, and he won't ask for directions. You know, um, that's ego. I want to say more than self esteem, but he just can't show that he could be making a mistake. He can't show that he's not confident in what he's doing. So we know that men have self-esteem issues. We know that we love these same men. Um, don't embarrass. I mean, because embarrassment, they get embarrassed. That's like end of the world. Don't. I'm laughing because you just think about it. When you think about it, don't let him fall in front of somebody. Like, oh my goodness, the embarrassment and his esteem is coming all the way down, because he didn't fail. He didn't hurt himself in front of people. You don't even know if you can get him back around them same people. So it's always things that happen with men. Y'all could talk back to me. I'm trying to see. I took my glasses off again, but I see. Let me see if I can see comments. If y'all make some comments, but just I'm just talking. I'm just talking right now because I had a panel. Well, I had been talking for a while. I didn't want to seem pushy. I had wanted it to be that these men wanted to talk and let us know. And it's vulnerability there, it's exposure. And I think that a lot of times we don't realize how much it takes for that man to um, expose his vulnerability to you, to his children, to his people on his job. No, I don't. I was laughing because I was, among some men, and they won't ask questions because, like, I'm one that I'll show I don't know, pretty much don't know, but they, how you not gonna ask a question? How you gonna not get your answer? Your ego, um, then so like I said, I had read those three, and then just the woman just know a lot of times it's not you. Yeah, we can nag. Yeah, we can nag, but a lot of times it's that internal thing that's going on inside that we can't reach. We could tell them they good. You could tell them that they're wonderful. You can tell them they're doing a great job. A man with low self-esteem, that can be very difficult with that man with low self-esteem, because his mind and his mindset says, I'm not. It just says I'm not. He can compensate with like sometimes like what women we do, we compensate with clothes, we compensate with jewelry, we compensate with cars. A lot of times we compensate with makeup and things like that. But behind that car, behind him, we talk about in a suit. I'm talking about I love seeing a man in a suit, but who is the man behind the suit? How did he feel about himself? Is he confident enough to go and finish his to go to know that he can achieve education and graduate or start that business that he has the ability to do without even a degree, or make the money and be productive in another a way. Uh, I'm just trying to think of what I'm trying to talk about. When you find something experimental way, um, um, I'm trying to think of the thing, like a product, when you make a product or whatever. So he can think of some way where he can be successful in his mindset. And a lot of times they compare themselves to other people, other men, um, other women, other men. And I know I'm not talking about the women because I'm talking about men and self esteem. So we have to be careful on sometimes sisters or aunts or um, wives or girlfriends and stuff, because we don't recognize that they have issues too. They have self esteem issues. So when they did not do right, or when they did something that was mistaken, how do we communicate with them? How do we communicate? I'm not putting everything on us because I told you how all the ways that they can act with the self-esteem issue. We have to endure, but we do need to, take the time and make sure that we are not. What is that? Uh, okay, so yeah, so that's it. I came on. I was like, oh my man, panel. I really wanted them to tell the audience, men and women, what it looked like, what's things going on that that cause them to have issues and stuff like that. But like I said, self esteem affects all of us. It affects every last one of us. I just want to say, even the men. And so we want to encourage them. We want to recognize that. We want to still always say, try to be there for them as usual, as a sister, as a daughter, as an aunt, as a wife, as a girlfriend, whatever, um, a brother. We want to know that that can be the issue. That's why they can be swallowing themselves and other things. All right, I don't know how long I have talked, but I just wanted to talk about it. It wasn't even let's talk about it because I wasn't talking to them. I'm just talking about it. It's so much, so much. Self-esteem is a real deal. It's really an issue, and a lot of people don't even recognize a lot of times that they even have an issue. Like I said before, especially those and the men that we love sometimes. They compensating. They compensate, but they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to see who they are. Sometimes they don't want to look in the mirror. It's hard for us to look in the mirror ourselves sometimes, but they don't want to look in the mirror and see deep down inside what they really are. What they feel when they feel incompetent. So they find ways. They find ways. But I'm going to still encourage you, if you're watching this as a man, to loving some me. You can love yourself as well, because you can have issues as well, especially with rejection. I said that before, just feeling rejected by the woman. A lot of times women make a mistake too. They walking over or missing out on something good. So know that you are so good, even if that woman, you want to always have respect yourself. um, you know Men, self-respect. Yes, have your self-respect as well. And self-care, we know we have to take care of ourselves, it's not selfish to take care of yourself. Selfishness come when you put yourself above everybody and you don't think of their needs at all. But you want to take care of yourself. Alrighty. So I'm going to continue on. I'm not going to announce next month, but come back first Friday next month. I told you all before, look for me. I'm glad whoever's on here, I don't see any comments, but look for me. Pray actually for me that I get on here on Fridays at 8 because that's where I really feel like I'm supposed to be doing. Um, and it's just been one of those things that you just have to have the passion and just have to just do it. And somebody was telling me, I was like, I don't have the content that I usually do. It's like, just get on there, Dawn, just get on there and go live. So anyway, I am so happy to have had this conversation. And let me see. Nope, I was trying to get to something that was made by, I want to see if I can flash it. Nope. Anyway, thank you for watching. And I look forward to seeing you again. Okay? All right. Bye. All righty. I thought that was it. Okay. All right then. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.